Hey, I make 500 grand a year in profit with my consulting business, and this is a daily video series where I build my business in public. And these videos always follows the exact same structure. I always start by answering some questions, meaning that on this channel right here you're watching right now, you can go down in the comment section and then ask me any question that you might have about your business, and then you can come back tomorrow where I have then answered your video. It's a cool flywheel, and I get to help a bunch of people, and all the people watching will get value from your unique business. So it's quite a win-win if you ask me. Once I'm done with questions, I dive into business stats, which is basically just me showing you exactly the growth of my social channels, but also how much money my business is making. I'll simply just show you my Stripe, very simple. And then last but not least, I just run you through some strategy, which is basically just me brainstorming on my initiatives and the things that I'm testing in my business, what's going well, what could be better. And then I just like mind dump at the end of the day here. So welcome, this is the channel you're watching. And I always head into community, and then I filter after newest questions. And then I find a question, for example, here from Omar, and then I answer his question. And he says, "Hey Fred, it is Omar here again. I run a YouTube channel teaching businesses how to create professional video content that attracts clients. My technical production skills are solid. I've worked with tons of clients, shot professional setups, YouTube ads, VSLs, all of it. What I don't have yet is a deep track record of client acquisition results. I only have 2 to 3 real case studies of clients getting clients from their videos. How do you think I should position my content? Lean into the looking professional, where I have proof, or lean into getting clients through video, which is the bigger promise, but where my proof is thin? Thank you, Fred." Great question, man. Great question. The first initial thought that I had was directly translated into my own brand, because I would say that on my main channels, I try to have high effort content, meaning that it's professionally made with good cameras and good setups, and it's well thought through rather than just like raw talking stuff. So I think, man, like when reading your question, the direction that I would go would be a combination of both, so that your argument and your vehicle to grow your business with content is by having great professional content with arguments such as, well, your service is incredible and you're an incredible professional. Your content should reflect that. You should have high perceived value. You want to give high effort in your content. So that's probably the angle that I would take, because I know I have a few clients that are designers and graphic and like visual people. And the number one thing that I focus on with them is that their positioning in the market goes from, oh, it's nice to have good branding, to I need to have branding because or else I'm not gonna be able to grow my business, right? I need to have a brand that stands out. So I think, Omar, that is probably the angle that I would take on you, because you have all of these incredible, basically skills, first of all, but also experience. And I wouldn't worry too much about this, brother. I really wouldn't, because like usually the people that are investing in their content professionally are already having a source of client acquisition and is making money. So they add it on top because of like, it's like more, better, new, right? Of like, can we do more content? Probably not. Maybe we feel a bit capped. Business is at, let's say, 40, 50 grand a month. Let's make better content, like let's upgrade the brand. So we go to Omar, that has all the structure of like a really professional brand, looks great, investing into brand rather than just like paid ads and stuff all the time. So I think that's probably how I would go about it, Omar, is that you're kind of like, if A here, right, and B, so that your clients are here, right, and they want to get over here, which is like better business usually, and that can be a smokescreen for many things, right? And they have to believe that high effort content is the bridge for them to go from where they are to where they want to be. So high effort content is the vehicle that will get them to the business and the situation and perceived value and followers and clients and opportunities will get them. So I think, Omar, I wouldn't do one or another. I would combine the two with the best of both worlds, because I like your thought process here of a creative guy like yourself that wants to like take his creative skill and then package it into more logic in terms of you will actually make more money from this. So you go from, as I said with my clients that I work with, these graphic designers, video editors, creative directors, of like, hey, it's nice to have, to, hey, we need to have this. So that's probably what I would do if I were you, Omar. And then your cases will naturally come. And don't worry, man. I know personally when I invest into like something with like niche skilled people like yourself, like for example, when I purchased and like hired my full-time creative director, I didn't really care about how much money he had made his clients. I cared about his work because I know as a business owner that I'm good at monetizing. I'll make that work. So I think Omar, it very much also depends on your clients. If it's people like me, consultants, agencies, then I like the logic in terms of like your professional content will make you stand out and you will make more money. But if it's more business to businesses, then your own skill set and high quality work will do the selling for you. So that's my take, brother. I hope it was helpful. So combine your skill set. I really would do that if I were you. Then we have Forbes here. Good to see that the question is coming through, my man. Hey Fred, great to have you back in my feed. Would love your opinion. I've helped a yoga coach grow significantly on Instagram, and this year I helped a LinkedIn client in the logistics industry generate 400k impressions in 90 days. Sales hard to track. My goal is to build a lean, highly profitable business rather than a traditional agency with a big team. So I'm currently considering LinkedIn content for founders, YouTube as a done-for-you service, partnerships with personal brands or coaches where I help them grow, AI agents for businesses. For 50 grand a month in monthly profit, what would you focus on? I know I should choose whatever is more fun to me, whatever, but what would you choose? And maybe even more importantly, which would you avoid? Great question, man. I don't know how much money your business is doing now, but I would focus more on getting to 10 grand and 20 grand first, and then the path from 20 grand to 50 grand, because usually they're not totally the same, in my opinion. From what I hear is that I don't know if you say I've helped, meaning that it's probably in hindsight and you maybe not have the clients now. So I would find a way for you to get to your first 10 grand rather than 50 grand. That's kind of a big jump, man. And I think depending on whatever is more fun, to be honest, brother, I didn't have a lot of fun in my very first business, because the money and the financials and the case studies and me learning stuff was more important than me having fun. And then I earned the ticket to have fun now. And like I still have days where I don't think it's fun, but I try to have as much fun as possible, right? But at the end of the day, it's still business, it's still work, it's still hard, it's still challenging. So I think I would probably like ask yourself that question, bro, and just be honest of which season you're in and which is most important to you. Because I think all of these offers can do 50 grand. Like LinkedIn content for founders, I have 3 clients that literally offer that work with me, and they're all doing, one of them is doing 30 grand, and the biggest one is doing 80 grand. YouTube is a done-for-you service. I also work with people that are YouTube consultants and YouTube agencies, also making the same bracket there. Partnerships with personal brands or coaches will help them grow. That's literally what I do, both in my own business and in my agency. And AI agents for businesses. I also know people in my network. I only have one client that is like AI, but that's also very possible. So like what determines it? It's your skill set, right? So like cases, experience, what can you leverage in order to this? So like what I hear from you, brother, is like the social growth. You have the yoga teacher, and you have the longer sales thing that was hard for you to track, right? So like in the logistics industry. So yeah, brother, I would just like pick one direction and then go all in on it. And like for a question like this, it's that everything works, but there's only one Forbes and only one gut feeling here that you need to trust and double down and lean into and then follow that path. And the most important thing, brother, is just that you take a decision. Like, because it's hard for me to, people is like, what's the best niche, what's the best offer, what's the best, it's just by doing one thing and then sticking to it. Of course, looking at data and being realistic and market and conditions and like how the space is moving. But like you have some cases, brother, there's clearly something you're good at and like, so like just like pick one route and then go all in. Like the reason why I have a really good business now, to be fair, is because I've spent 4 years in info, you know. Like I operated clients before it was called growth operating. It was back in the days where you just were an agency. You know, growth operating wasn't even a thing. So I think, brother, it's all of these are great. I don't have a lot of experience here, but all of these 3 I definitely say are great. I know YouTube can be kind of heavy on like delivery because it's bigger video projects that you deliver with editors, titles, thumbnails. I know personally in my business, it's a lot easier to create LinkedIn content than it is to create YouTube, and YouTube is a lot more long-term. And I know the LinkedIn agency guys that I work with are crushing, so that's probably some good data for you. But you can make anything work. That's the thing I'm making here, brother. So hopefully it helps. Try to give me your thoughts. I'll love to help you out, but I would also hate to make the decision for you, brother. Then Mason here, last question, people, probably. He says, Fred, thank you so much for the advice, man. Couldn't have hoped for a better answer. I think at the end of the day, we want to build a SaaS and have a sellable asset, but I completely agree that we can get so much data and feedback by selling done for you, and the book calls as the outcome, and we can basically get paid to improve the software before going all in on that. Yes, brother. Thank you, bro. This is definitely going to influence. Exactly, brother. And I think you're also very young, right? So you're not in a rush, and I think that's the biggest flaw of this industry and social media, and the fact that we're so exposed to possibilities is that we completely forget about time. Like I'm turning 27 next week, and sometimes I think that I'm an uncle, I'm an old man in this space. When I see these 18, 20-year-olds run up big offers and drive supercars, but then I remember all of my other friends in my hometown. They are graduating university. They haven't had a real 9-to-5 job yet. Like, they've been studying up until now, which is totally fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the guy that says everyone should be entrepreneurs and yada yada. Everyone should just be happy for the things that they do every single day and give it their very best. I respect one of my friends. He's about to become an accountant, and he's working so hard because he want to be the best accountant ever. And I love that. He's happy. He's challenging himself. He's developing. Brother, I'll never start a business. You'll be the best accountant ever, right? Of course, only do it if it challenges you. But so I think here with Mason, it's like we all want the fastest result in the shortest period of time, and that usually just gives us a bad experience, right? Whereas like Mason here could build such a cool agency and get so much feedback for his software over the next 2 years while making good cash flow and good money, in investing some money to be safe, to have better decisions, to have a better foundations for life and the people around him. And then he could go full in on building it as a sellable asset over the next 4 years, and then maybe sell it in year 5, and then you have a 7-year time horizon. And Mason is probably like in the beginning of his 20s, so then he'll have sold the company at 30, and then what? Hopefully he figures something out by then. But I hope you get the point, right? It's like we don't really understand time. So I think Mason is like really, I love this direction. Not to say that you should, but this is 100% what I would have done, because I know how much expertise and skill set matters and how much you learn and done for you that you can then use in other things. Let's take the last question here. It's from Dating by Marie. I love your content, and you inspire me to create content that is more authentic and less scripted, but more focused on the ideation part of the goal of each video. I'm really happy to hear, Marie. Like, the best pattern you can break in your life and in your business is your creative pattern, by defaulting to what everyone else is doing and by trying to force yourself into the same box that they live in and create in, and then like just start doing things that feels very true to you and easy to you and something that you find fun and interesting, and then you just enter this like flow state of like creating good stuff that attracts even better clients, that gives you more business and more cash flow that you can invest into making better content that gets you better clients. You get the point. So I'm really happy. That's a big compliment for me. Thank you. And I have a question regarding working with you and integrating the client acquisition system you use. Because I know you preach to show, don't tell, but I am a dating mentor for entrepreneurs, and I help them to attract and keep their dream woman, the woman they could see themselves build a life with. But I am not sure if your offer would be a match in the sense that I did not live the situation of my ideal customer profile. Don't worry, Marie. For example, I run a marketing agency, and it has helped, it mainly does still. Fitness coaches build a better business. And as you can probably tell, I'm by no means a fitness coach. I've never been a fitness coach, but my clients are fitness coaches, just like you, Marie. Your clients are people looking for the right love of their life, right? So the whole thing here is that instead of me, I took this very hands-on. The very simple principle here is just, instead of me saying, if you're a fitness coach, you should do this, I just flip my communication and content strategy to, I did this for a fitness coach. Here's the decisions we took. Here's the results we got. Here is the thought process. Here's the things we do. Here's the system. So everything is just by you talking through your clients rather than you telling people what to do. And that's the backbone of show, don't tell. It's that you speak by experiences and storytelling rather than, here are 3 ways to get your dream partner. Then say, my client Tom was making a lot of money, but he couldn't find any good woman. So what we did for Tom and what I worked with him on was that we did X, Y, and Z, and now he got certain result. So that's just a very simple communication flip. Majority of my clients are working with agencies and clients that isn't themselves, but they can still anchor their storytelling and marketing and communication through the client stories, but also their values. You know, Marie, like you probably also have values and ethics and beliefs that you live your business by. So, for example, you're a dating coach for high-level men or women or something, I assume. I don't really know that much, but oh, my screen recording is frozen. Give me 2 seconds. And we're back. So, Marie, for example, like your belief, right, is that let's see here. I help them understand the ideal woman and having clarity on what they want in a woman and in a relationship to filter out a woman and who are not a match and select the right one. So Samuel, Marie, you probably have some values and insights and beliefs on what the right woman looks like in terms of her qualities and what to look for. If I were looking for a wife, I fortunately have a girlfriend of 7 years, so I'm not looking. But the point here is the same, right? Is that you, Marie, is like you can tell stories about what you believe how a right woman looks like. She supports you and she understands when you are stressed, versus she doesn't she gets mad whenever you have stuff going on in your business. You don't want that. So I think, Marie, the point I'm making here is that you can still show, don't tell with your own communication through your clients. That's one thing, but also show, don't tell through your own beliefs. And by you saying what you believe a right partner is, that's still, instead of like top 3 things to look for in a partner, it's here's what I believe a right partner looks like for you. So hopefully that makes sense. And you'll be really happy about the show don't tell philosophy when it comes to marketing. It makes everything a lot easier. There we go, people. That is it for questions. Hopefully it made sense. The next thing on the agenda here is that we do business stats. So this is me filling out this beautiful sheet here every single day. And let me zoom in so you can actually see something. And most important, so I can see something. There we go. We start with my daily update channel, which was at 695. Then we have the main YouTube channel, which is currently sitting at 9329. Here. My Instagram is currently sitting at, let's see, 26859, right? Yeah. We need to see if this continues, then I need to change something in my paid ads, which is all good. Nothing new under the sun there. And then my newsletter is at 1426. And yesterday, no cash made. That is all good. That is all good. Very nice. And then last but not least, strategy. I have to go, people, because I have to visit a client of mine and a very good friend that lives here in Dubai. And I am driving in 7 minutes, and I need to title and thumbnail this thingy right here. So yeah, I did a few extra minutes of questions today. Hope you enjoyed. It was good questions. Please ask me any question you might have down below. And then I'll run you through some strategy tomorrow, right? So thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.